So, guys, you are here for a reason. There is no accident and no mistake that you're on this webinar tonight. The universe has heard your call. I have heard your call, and you're here to learn something about yourself. You're here to take away something about doing what you love, about making a difference, about using your gifts, about being of service. Okay, so that's what this hour is about, guys. It's about learning and growing and getting inspired and getting clarity as to what it is that you love, what your passion is, and why you are here. So I'm going to do everything in my power over the next hour to really help you guys as much as I can, to share as much as I know, and to inspire you. And if you have any questions throughout, please let me know. Otherwise, at the end, we can have a Q&A. And I just really, really thank you so much again before we begin for being here tonight. And let's have some fun and let's get inspired. So, guys, this webinar, as you know, is about discovering your passion and doing the work that you love. And I'll share a little bit about my journey to get to where I am today. And I call my life that I have today is basically I live a life that I love. And that is my mission and my purpose for all of you and everyone that I work with, is that they really get the opportunity to live that life that they love, because it didn't always used to be like this for me. So I spent 10 years in the corporate world. My whole of my 20s were in the corporate world, and I'm very driven, very determined, very much want to change the world. So I've got a big vision, and I always have. But in my 20s, or in my time in the corporate world, it was all about success. It was about succeeding, and it was about me. So I was at L'Oreal. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I wanted to get to the top. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be significant. And there's actually nothing wrong with wanting to be significant, because it's actually one of our human needs. But it wasn't fulfilling me. So as I was getting higher, as I was climbing, as I was succeeding and getting promotions and earning more money, the emptier that I felt, and the more stuck I felt, and the more unfulfilled I felt. And I was like, there's got to be more to life. Like, there's something missing. I knew I had this ocean of passion and energy inside me, but it was like I couldn't get it out. It was like it was trapped. And the more that I felt like that, the harder that I worked. So I dove even deeper into my work, only to find nothing on the other side. So I thought it was the job. So I quit the job and I joined Stellar & Dot, one of the Inc. 500's fastest growing companies in London. And I, again, dove into the work, worked really hard, and again, felt the same. I used to go to the tube on the way to work, and I used to say, here we go again. And guys, that is not a way to live a life. And I sort of describe that life as mediocrity. You know, all my friends from the outside were like, wow, you're living this incredible life. You get free hair care, free beauty products. You're earning great salary. But I was like, I don't feel fulfilled. And guys, I feel very strongly that you are not here to live an average life or a mediocre life. You are here to live a life of purpose, of passion, of joy, of connection, of fulfillment. And I know that because I had transitioned into that space, and I know that it is for you too, because that's why we're all here, to live a life of joy and to be an expression of who we are. So what really catapulted me into my healing journey, or my transformational journey into doing what I love, was a difficult experience. I call it tragedy, or a suffering experience. I'm sure you might have had one of those in the past. But basically, my husband and I got married in 2010. And he told me 3 weeks after we got married that he had met somebody else. This was after our honeymoon. And that he didn't want to continue being married, and he wanted to be with her. And that moment was really, really difficult for me, or that moment, that year. It really, really was a huge shock, and it was a really difficult experience. But what it did for me was wake me up. So when you suffer, you have the opportunity to wake up. And in that moment, or in that experience, I woke up, and I realized that I had to stop outsourcing my happiness and stop outsourcing everything else to other people, to jobs, to experiences, to money and things, to actually cultivate and create that from within. So that journey really took me on a path of self-discovery and self-love. So I want to make a note here to you guys. If you have ever gone through a difficult experience, that is there to be your teacher. That is there to teach you something, and it will keep happening to you until you show up to it, until you say yes to it. So I just want you to bear that in mind. So after I went on the self-discovery journey, which all of you need to go on in order to do what you love, by the way, I realized I had to discover my passion, and I had to figure out what it is that I loved. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I spent thousands of hours and a long time figuring it out, reading books, going to seminars, watching YouTube videos, and finally figured it out. And I'm going to share how I figured that out on this webinar tonight and on my online program that's coming up. But what figuring out my passion allowed me to do was to be empowered to quit my job, to then travel around the world for a year, writing a blog about doing what you love, and then starting my own heart-centered, purpose-driven, profitable business doing what I loved 4 years ago. And I've been doing that ever since, helping people and feeling like this, feeling alive, feeling happy, feeling inspired. And I would never change a thing. I wouldn't change my divorce. I wouldn't change the struggle, because it all brought me here today. So just know that you're on the right path, guys. Know that this is a stepping stone for something greater. Know that you're here for a reason, to learn something. So show up to that. Okay. So guys, I just shared a little bit about me. So in terms of my actual credibility of being here. So I've got life credibility. I've got a degree in marketing, and I have a coaching diploma from the International Coaching Federation in London, where I studied for a year. I studied my coaching. I'm a certified NLP trainer by the International Trainers Association of NLP. And I am a Spirit Junkie alumni from Gabby Bernstein, and I have gone on numerous other courses, read hundreds of books on this, and I'm currently writing my book on it. So I think I just want you guys to know that you are in the right hands, and my main goal is to serve my clients as best I can with what they need. So that's a bit about me. That's who I am, and that's a little bit about my story, my journey to get here. And why that's relevant also is because you have a story. You have gone on a journey to get here, and we're going to tap into that more in a moment. So I want to ask you a question now, and that question is, what do you want? What do you want for your life? I want you to fast forward to 10 years' time. What do you see that's different? How do you want to feel that's different? This is your life, and you're creating it every moment with your thoughts and with your actions and your behavior. So what is it that you want? Because the way to get what you want is simply to ask for it, and is simply to get clear. But the problem that I have found is that many people don't even know that. They have lack of clarity. They don't actually know what they want. They don't actually know what lights them up. They don't actually know what makes them feel alive and feel connected, and they don't know what their purpose is. And the cost of that, guys, is if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what your gifts are, you don't know what you want, you don't know why you're here, you end up coasting through life. You end up living a life where you're not tapped in fully to your potential. You're not tapped in fully to who you are. And you end up feeling unhappy and bored, just like I was in the corporate world, where I was beating my head against a brick wall, succeeding, but just not feeling anything different. You are here to succeed and to feel. Okay, your birthright, remember, is joy and happiness in addition to success. And I want you to claim both of those with two hands. You can be happy and successful and earn money and make a difference all in one. I promise you, you can do it. And the impact of not knowing what you want and not having clarity is you end up wasting your time or wasting your life. you end up over there, somewhere, nowhere, not sure, uncertain, distant, no idea, right? I don't know if you guys can relate, but this was like me for a long time, just sort of going with the flow of life. And that's also fine. You can go with the flow of life, but if you're intentional about what you do, and if you ask for guidance from your higher self and from a higher power greater than yourself, you actually have a path to follow. And it's about your choices and your decisions that you make. So it all starts with getting clear, and that's what I want to help you with. So sometimes we just have to admit that we're lost, or that we're stuck, or that we need a bit of help. How many of you can relate to this picture? If you're going around in circles for a little while, sometimes we just have to say, hold up, I need some help. I'm a bit lost. Help from yourself, help from me, help from angels, help from books, but you have to admit, hey, it's time. And I love this quote that says, sometimes the bad things happen in our lives to put us directly on the path to the best things that will ever happen to us. And like I mentioned with my divorce, guys, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it brought me to where I am. It woke me up. And the same with all the other difficult experiences that I've had. Because I have chosen to get the value out of them. I have chosen to see the silver lining in them. What will you choose? So guys, life is simple. Are you happy? Yes, keep going on that path. No, then something needs to change. And this is the question we need to sort of ask ourselves throughout our life. And it doesn't, and perhaps not, don't ask yourself in such a big general question, but am I happy in my relationships? Am I happy with my health? Am I happy with my career? Am I happy with my spirituality? Am I happy with my fun and adventure? And if the answer is ever no, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It simply means you need to make some changes or some tweaks or some adjustments. That's all that is. So guys, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling that you're not where you want to be, that is something to celebrate. That is a moment to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, because it's showing you that your heart needs something else, or your heart wants you to be more fulfilled, or is showing you a different direction. So when you're stuck, it's simply awareness showing you the light to say, change something. Okay, so give yourself a pat on the back for feeling stuck if you are, because that's a sign to change something. And you have the power to change it, by the way. So guys, what we're going to look at today is your why. Why you want to do what you love. Why are you on this earth? Why do you want to live a passionate life? What makes you happy? And what is it that you actually love to do? We're going to look at your talents and your strengths, and we're going to discover your inner superstar. We're going to tap into your inspiring stories that make up your life. We're going to unlock the passion code, which is all to do with what's important to you and your values. And we're going to look at the themes that come up from this. And at the end, we're going to create a powerful purpose. So guys, if you have done the Passion Challenge, or if you have downloaded the Passion Challenge worksheet, this is what I'm going through tonight. Okay, so it's a wonderful 1-hour webinar that's going to take you through that. So instead of taking it over 7 days, you can go through it tonight. But you do need to do the work afterwards. Okay, so the Passion Challenge was over 7 days, so you had that time to do the work. So after this webinar, you need to go deeper into each one of these segments. Okay. So the foundation, guys, for doing what you love, for discovering your passion, is getting clear, is getting passion clarity. And this is all to do with your why being at the center, you knowing why you want this, why you want to make some changes, why you're here, okay? And that's what we're going to look at in a moment. Your passions, what it is that you love to do, your talents, what you're good at, what comes naturally to you, your story and your experiences and your values. So we have to get this foundation very clear and very, it's like the building block that everything goes on. So if we have this rocky foundation, then we're going to build a business or build a passion around something that's not really grounded in who we are and what we love. Okay. And that's when we end up failing, because doesn't have legs, it doesn't have roots. So what we're really doing now is building these deep roots that going down so that we can build on top of those deep roots. I hope this all makes sense. Okay, so the first step, guys, is your why. So when the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. So like I said, no matter what happens on the outside or how bad the storm is on top, if you have the solid foundation, this groundedness of why you want to do what you want to do, why you want to do what you love, then anything is possible and nothing can sway you. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Why do you want to live a passionate life? And feel free to share in the chat box or in the question box. Why? Why do you want to live a passionate life? Why do you want to do what you love? Why do you want to discover your passions? If you did, how would things be different? How would your life change if you were able to do what you love and discover your passions? What would happen if you began to do what you love? And what would it mean for your family, for your lifestyle, for your freedom, for your finances, or your health? How would things change? What would others notice about you if you were doing what you love and you lived this passionate life? And what's the cost of things staying the same? So guys, I want you to write down, and this is some homework, but write down now 10 reasons why I want to do what I love. And just write that as your headline for your homework, because we won't have time to wait for everyone to write. But I just want you to make a note of that. I need 10 reasons why I want to do what I love. And I'd love you guys to share a reason why you want to do what you love in the question box. So why I want to do what I love is because I want to feel alive. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to be happy. I want to support my family. I want to help my mum. I want to help humanity do what they love. I want to be a full expression of who I am. Why? What about you? So, Alice, Brad, Carla, Linda, Christine, Nicola, why do you guys want to do what you love? What is it for you? Alrighty. And once you've come up with your 10 reasons why, okay, I want you to share your why, or share one of your whys with someone close to you, a family member or a friend, so that it becomes real. When you share your why, the universe starts to move in alignment with that, okay? What about what makes you happy? This is to do with your happy heart. So I want you to brainstorm, what makes me really, really happy? What makes me feel alive? What am I passionate about? What do I love to do more than anything else? And what really energizes me? So guys, your happiness has everything to do with your passions. So the clearer that you get on what makes you happy and what makes you feel alive, or what energizes you and what brings flow to your life, what brings you peace, what brings you contentment, what makes you feel fulfilled, all of it. And I've got basically 30 questions like this that go, and videos in my program, but here's just a little sample for you to get started. But you have to ask yourself these questions of what fills your heart up. So in this heart that I put here, I want you to come up with a happiness list that goes inside this heart. All the things that makes your heart happy, all the things that make you feel alive and passionate. Because the clearer that you get on these things, the more likely you're able to then be an expression of them. and the more likely they'll give you signs and clues into what it is that you love. So when I was 10 years old, my mum and dad had me write a happiness list. So they said to me, write down 20 things that make you happy. And I was so excited about this. And I wrote down like a Great Dane and a gold Porsche and a sticker book and a trip to Disney World and all sorts of crazy stuff, Barbie dolls, as you do as a little girl. And what this taught me was to focus on the things that made me happy and to focus on the things that I wanted. And I began to do this every year, and I still do it this year. I still know exactly what's on my happiness list. I know the things that make me feel alive. I know what makes me happy, and I do them. So I have clients that come to me and they say, Tammy, I'm not happy. I'm not feeling fulfilled. I just don't know what to do. So I say, well, what makes you happy? And they say, well, I don't know. Well, no wonder, guys. Like, no wonder you're not going to be happy if you don't know. So you have to first get clear and then be able to be in action of those things that make you happy. And it could be small things, guys. It can be like a walk in nature. It can be a piece of dark chocolate, or it can be speaking at an event. For me, it's my clients energize me. So after a client coaching session, I feel energized. After a hike, I feel energized. After reading books makes me feel alive. Doing webinars makes me feel amazing. Hanging out with my husband and my dog and my family and my friends makes me feel happy. So I know exactly the things that tick the boxes for me. And I know the things that don't. So what is it for you? What makes you feel in flow? What do you do when time stands still? And what is your definition of happiness? And what I want you to do is make this full long list. Brainstorm this list as many things as you can. And then I want you to narrow it down to your top 10 things that make you happy and the top 10 things that really, really light you up. And again, I want you to ask yourself, what one way can I bring this happiness into my life? What one action can I take to substitute something that I'm doing in my week or my weekend with something that makes me happy? So instead of watching mind-numbing series TV for an hour in the evening, what about reading something that lights me up? Or what about hanging out with a friend that really makes me happy? Or working on my book, or painting a painting, or playing a musical instrument, or whatever it is for you. But remember, your life happens when you make changes, not when you stay stuck where you are. And again, share with a friend what makes you happy, and share one way that you are going to make some changes to be happier in your life. Alrighty. Step 3, you are a superstar. Okay. So guys, you are brilliant. You are one of a kind. You are unique. And you have gifts and talents and sunshine that you have been blessed with that nobody else has. Everyone has their own beauty, their own uniqueness, their own sunshine, as I call it. And we are all on this earth to express our own version of our sunshine. What is yours? What is it that you're good at? What did you love to do as a child? What are you naturally good at? What comes very easy to you? What do people come to you for? Do you have friends that say, oh, please will you help me with this because you're so good at it and so easy for you? What are your natural talents, strengths, or skills? So again, this is like literally a snippet. Normally I go very deep into this in my work. So this is just to get you started. So guys, you're here to be an expression of your talents. You're here to use your talents and your gifts. You have been given them for a reason. That's why they're called gifts, because it was a present that you were born with, and for you to use and express that with the world. So that's why it's so important to discover it. And guys, we were not taught from a young age to discover our talents and our gifts and who we are and what makes us happy. And there's a wonderful analogy that shows that when we're born a star. We're born this big, bright, beautiful stars with our uniqueness, and we're not afraid to show it, and we shine and we show off and we share. But as we get older, the points of our star start to get cut off. So we do something and we get told, don't do that. That's not good for you. Or you shouldn't paint because it's not time for painting right now. You've got to study maths right now. Or don't play outside because it's cold and muddy. Or you shouldn't go and be a musician because there's no money in that. And slowly but surely, all the beautiful, bright points of our star get cut off, and we end up being put in a box. And in this box, we have to conform, and we have to fit in, and we have to be like everybody else. And we go through life in this box. And every time our arm goes out to be the star that it is, we get judged, or we get fear shows up. And we say, oh, no, don't do that. Or we fail, or we get hurt, or something happens that causes us to shrink back in. But guys, your true expression of who you are, the light of who you are, really needs to shine out. And it can only shine if you be the expression of who you are and you figure out what it is. So for me, I help people get clarity on what they love, on their talents. I'm a motivator. I'm an inspirer. I'm a positive thinker. I have vision. I'm someone who loves personal development and positivity, and that shines out of me. I'm a people person. I'm a natural speaker. I haven't never had any speaking training, but I love to speak and share and help people. I'm compassionate and I like to listen to people. So these are some of my gifts, and I know them very well, and I know exactly what they are. So guys, your happiness and your passion has everything to do with what your natural gifts are, because when you express your gifts, you feel happy. Okay, so that's the secret with being the superstar, because you as a superstar have superpowers. Okay, and that's why you're here, is to use those superpowers. So I want you to ask yourself as an action, what one way can I use the superpowers or the gifts that I already have in my business now, or in my job now, or in my life right now? What one way can I actually start to be an expression of my gifts? And perhaps which gift or which talent do I need to work on, or what I like to improve on? So for example, like I said, I'm a speaker, but I've never had any training. So imagine if I was actually able to invest in that a skill of mine and that gift of mine, if I actually got some help from experts, or I did some reading about it, or I learned more about it, it would really help me develop that skill. So write those actions down. And another thing, guys, is a good question to ask here is, what are you curious about? Because growing up, I never wanted to be a speaker. I never wanted to be a coach. I didn't have exposure to those domains. And when I say exposure to those domains, I mean, no one showed me what a professional speaker does, or how they do it, or what they do, or what they teach. And the same with a coach. It was only until I got naturally curious and went on my own path and found and researched it did I want to do it. So it's like, for example, someone living in Ghana might never have the experience of doing Olympic ski jumping, because they just don't have snow or the weather to do it. But he might have the gift to do it until they're naturally curious and go on that own journey to find it. Okay, so what are you curious about? And what would you like to develop? Even if it's scary, guys, scary/exciting. That's something to pay attention to. Alrighty. You have an inspiring story. Okay, you have a story to tell. You have a song that is unsung within you. You have been on a journey from when you were born up until now that is worth something valuable, that is worth changing people's lives with, whether it's one person or thousands or millions of people. You get to choose how you express that. but your story is part of who you really are. And it's what makes you unique and relatable. Okay. So when I share my stories with you guys, it helps you get to know a little bit about me and know that I'm really coming from a place of authenticity, and it is my life that I'm sharing. And that's the same with you. Whatever business you go into, whatever industry you go into, we all have the ability to share story. And it really, really helps you, and it makes people want to work with you if you share your story, because they can relate. So here's another thing with story, guys, is your story and experience shines a light on your passions. So for example, for so many years, as you know, I was stuck in the corporate world, didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt this big ocean of passion, but I couldn't let it out, and I had no one to help me, and I didn't know where to start, and I spent hours trying to fumble through it all. So because of that experience, because of that journey, I now am a happiness coach that helps people through that exact journey that I was trying to navigate 5 years ago. So my story or my experience shone a light on how I can help people and what my passions really are for helping people. So if I didn't go through that difficult experience, I might not have been the coach that I am. I might not have had the niche that I have, and be sharing the content that I'm sharing. So your story shines a light on your passions. So what is your story shining for you? So what are some of your greatest learning experiences? The good ones and the bad ones. What struggles have you gone through that can help others? What experiences have made an impact on your life? What has been one of your greatest challenges? And one of your greatest achievements? They all mean something. Okay, they all weave the tapestry of your life, and they're here for a reason. So we choose what happens to us, or we choose what we go through, so our soul can learn and teach and go and develop. Okay, so what is it for you? What is your journey showing you, and how can you help others with it? So I want you to make a list of your stories, your positive stories and your negative stories, and what you learned from them, and how you've grown from them, and how you can help others with them. Because again, coming back to clarity, the better you know who you are and the better you know your story, that is when you can express it authentically, and you can help more people with it. Okay. So what I'd like you to also do is to pick one of the stories that you have. So for me, like, for example, my divorce, or my limiting belief of not being smart enough for 20 years, or my going through the loss of my dad. And pick one and then craft it. So go deeper into it and just write out a couple of paragraphs on it, so that you really feel into that story and you really connect with the impact that it had on your life, and the impact that it can make on others if you share it with other people. And share that story with someone close to you, someone you love, or a friend, because then you can also get feedback, and you can also have an experience of sharing what that's like. And guys, it can be simple stories like I shared about my happiness list, or simple experience, a simple moment that really moved you. Okay. Step 5, unlock the passion code. So guys, this all has to do with your values. It has to do with what's really, really important to you. So it's simply when you're in action of what you most value, or in action of what's really important to you, you feel alive, you awaken your genius. When you don't, or when you act according to your lowest values or your lowest priorities, you feel stuck and uninspired. So that's why it's really important to figure out what you truly value and what's important to you. And guys, again, this is a 13-question process that takes quite a lot of time to go through in detail, which I do go through in more detail in my online program. But again, this is a good place to begin. So you simply want to ask, what's important to me? What are all the things that are really, really important to me in my life? How do I spend my time? Because how you spend your time is a reflection of what you value and a reflection of what's important to you. How do you spend your energy? How do you spend your money? Again, a reflection of what you value. You won't spend your money on things you don't want to do, but you spend your money on the things that you really want. Where am I most reliable and focused? And what do I visualize or daydream about? Again, all just showing what's important to you, what I value. What do you talk about in a social setting? Where do you have the most order and organization in your life? So guys, the point of this exercise is they all tend to bring up similar words, similar phrases, similar themes. For example, with me, I spend my time and my money and my energy on personal development. I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm going to seminars, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm coaching people. It's all centered around learning and centered around people and centered around helping people and centered around making a difference and centered around family and centered around my health and exercise. So when I did this exercise, this 13-question exercise, the themes were so clear. They were so clear for me, and it just came up time and time again. This is what's important to me. And that's the beauty of this exercise, guys. So ask yourself these questions and just notice what keeps coming back. What's the same thing? What are you consistently and repeatedly doing, or what is consistently and repeatedly important to you? And it really reveals your passion code. And again, this begins to unlock what it is that you love. So clearly showed to me, I love to learn. I love personal development. I love helping people. Those are my top 3 right there. Very clear. Same thing happened with what do I love? I love personal development. I love helping people. I love making a difference. I love learning. Okay, what are your gifts? Similar things. So you start to see a thread. You start to see a theme forming through all of these exercises that I've been giving you. And that is the journey of discovering a passion. It's a self-discovery journey, guys, that you have to take yourself on, which I can help you with, of course. But what you want to do with the passion code is you want to, after asking yourself these questions, come up with 10 values, 10 things that I value, 10 things that are important to me. And you want to highlight your top 3, because this is how you want to spend your time, spend your energy, spend your money, because this is where your genius lies, in expression of these 3. So my genius lies in learning and sharing and developing my learning and sharing it with others and learning for myself. And that's where I feel alive. It's actually quite simple when you break it down like that. And once you've done that, I want you to ask yourself, how can I align my life or how I'm currently spending my time with what I value? So if you spend all your time at work and running around after other people or looking after kids or watching TV, but yet one of your highest values is spending time in nature, and you're not doing that, that is when you start to feel disconnected, you start to feel unhappy, you start to feel because you're not doing what you most need. Okay, so it's really about asking yourself, what one change do I need to make in my life, or what one thing can I shift to organize my life around what's important to me? Okay, and share one of your values or your top 3 values in the chat box or with a friend or with someone that you care about. Okay, so let's look at the passion theme, which I mentioned in the last slide, guys. So I basically went on this journey, on the self-discovery journey that I'm leading you on in 1 hour over a period of years. Okay. So I was constantly trying to figure out who I was and what I loved and why I was here and what my talents were, but in a really up and down and mixed and a hodgepodge way. But if only someone could have helped me and guided me along the way that I am today. And that's why I'm doing it. But guys, the whole point of going through these exercises and these steps, these last 5 steps that I've led you on, is to look at the themes that are showing up for you. So what are the themes that are coming up in the first exercise, and what makes you happy and what you love to do? What are the top 3 things that make you happy? And in the second exercise, what are the top 3 things that you are your strengths? What are the things that come naturally and easy to you? What about your story? What are the 3 stories that keep showing up for you, or what are they related to? And what about the top 3 things that came up with your values and to do with your passion code? Because when I did this exercise, the same themes came up. It was to do with people. It was to do with learning. It was to do with personal development. It was to do with helping people. Those themes showed up in all the exercises. But again, you have to do the work. You have to drill down into your heart and really uncover those themes. And then what you want to do, you want to look at how they fit together. So look at the salad, for example. Okay, this is a salad with avocado, with lettuce, with raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. So you wouldn't naturally think, oh, this salad goes together. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to put avocados with strawberries, or I wouldn't anyway. But somehow it actually looks quite nice, and I think maybe it would taste quite nice as well. And it's the same thing with your passions, guys, is they can be interconnected and interwoven in ways that you might not think. Okay, so it's for you to brainstorm the themes that are coming up for you, and then to ask yourself, how can they fit together? So if I've got a passion for personal development and learning like I do, and a passion for helping people and giving back, how can I marry these 2 together? And how would I like to marry these 2 together? Okay, I can do coaching. I can do one-to-one coaching. I can do events. I can do retreats. I can write books. Do you see how then you'd come up with it? Or perhaps you love music and you love instruments and you love songs, and you also love to connect with people. Perhaps you could teach people music, or teach people the appreciation of music, or be a presenter at gigs, or be a sound engineer, or write music. So there's so many options that you can come up with in the middle of what your themes are and what your passions are, and to marry them together. So what is it for you? What are your themes that are showing up? What makes you happy, and what do you love to do? What are your superpowers and your talents? And what are your inspiring stories related to? And what's important to you? And how can you mix them all together so that they make a beautiful picture for you? And again, guys, this is a huge process. I can do this over a long time with clients, or a couple of sessions. And again, I'm going through this in much more detail in my online program, where you get to go on this really beautiful, deep discovery journey and come up with it. And I help you along that journey. So I do understand it's a lot to do now. It's a lot to take in, but it really is a beautiful journey. So something else to mention, guys, is if you have a business already, or a passion, or you have a job already, you also can ask yourself, how can I bring these themes and these passions and these things that I love into my business? So for example, I had a session with a client today who's in PR, but she's feeling stuck. She's feeling unfulfilled, and she's not bringing in the clients. And it's because she's not feeling connected to the client, to the work, because she's working with clients who sell toothpaste, and she has to do PR for toothpaste. And she's like, Tam, I really want to tell stories about Africa. I really want to make a difference to communities in Africa and share their stories and help them. And she's passionate about books and reading, and she really wants to get books to them and educate them. And when she started speaking, she just lit up. And she's like, I could get these clients, I could service them this way, I could help them like this. And it was just like watching this beautiful movie unfold before me. And that's a sign of passion, is when you feel like that. So with her, what was happening was she was in the right business. So she loves to tell stories and do PR, but in the wrong way. So you can also discover your passion and do the work you love by tweaking and changing your career or the work you do in your career slightly. And another example of this is a client of mine who worked in a fashion magazine, and she really had a passion for holistic coaching and personal development and helping people. So what she started to do was to bring her holistic stuff into work. So she had her crystals on her desk, and she had her angel cards, and she had inspiring quotes and a stack load of books. And people would come to her desk and be like, "Oh, can you do a reading for me? Or can I draw one of your cards? Or can I borrow one of your books?" So she brought her joy and her passion into what she did, and naturally it exuded out of her, and people noticed. And she didn't actually want to change her job or quit it and start something new, but she brought her passion into it. So you've got so many options here, guys. You can quit your job and do what you love, like I did. You can shift your passions in the business. You are like my PR client, or you can be like my fashion client and bring that joy and passion into what you do. So there's so many options, guys. But the most important thing is that you do something about it. Okay. So passion plus action equals a purposeful life. If you don't take action, you are going to stay where you are. You're going to stay stuck, and you're going to carry on living a life that might be nice, be pretty good, but it might not be the one that you're destined to live. It might not be the expression of the one that you're really here to express. And that's why I'm here on this webinar with you guys tonight, because I believe in you, and I believe that you're here to express something. And I know that because you're here. You're not here by accident, like I said at the beginning. You're here to hear something that you need to hear. So guys, step number 7 of the essential steps to doing what you love and discovering your passion is your powerful purpose, guys. So this is about providing value. So your purpose is about discovering and getting clarity on who you are, what you love, and then sharing that with the world. So the 6 steps that we just did are very much an introspective journey, going within. We're like mining. We're going into your heart, into your mind, into your story, into your experience, really going within and sitting with that. Your purpose is about discovering that and expressing it with the world. So it's very much an outward expression of who you are. And that is the purpose of life, is to express who you are naturally and authentically, and for the good of others and for the service of others. Because if we all expressed who we naturally were at our hearts, the world would be a very different place. So true and lasting fulfillment comes not from what we get, but from what we give. So what are you here to give? How can you provide value with who you are, with what you love, with your gifts, your story, and your experience? Because that is why you're here. So I want you to write down 10 ways that you can provide value with what makes you happy, based on your happiness list, based on your talents, based on your values, based on your stories. Because this is what you're here to do. You're here to provide value in your business, in your life. That's what you're here to express. Okay. So from this, you can craft a purpose statement. So you can craft a statement based on, my purpose is to share my love of learning and personal development with the world, and through that making a difference and inspiring others. For example, my mission statement or my vision is to create 1 million heart-centered, purpose-driven, profitable entrepreneurs by 2030. So guys, what that says is I want to create people who come from that heart space, who are really connected to that story and to who they are and that happiness. So it's heart-centered, purpose-driven. So purpose-driven means that they want to help others. They want to make a difference. They want to serve. And profitable, because we all deserve to make money from doing what we love. We all deserve to be wealthy and to be abundant. And that is, again, our birthright, guys. And there's so many limiting beliefs and limited thinking about, I can't do what I love and be successful and wealthy. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you can earn good money doing it. I went from earning thousands of dollars in my corporate job. When I started my business, I started earning $300 a month, but it went up from there, guys. You might have to make some sacrifices and some adjustments in the meantime. You might have to work for free for a period of time. I coached evenings and weekends for free while I got my coaching chops. And now I'm always attracting new opportunities, new clients, new business, new corporates, new programs, because I'm connected to who I am and what I love, and I'm expressing that. And I believe in the value that I'm providing. So that's another thing, guys. You can't make money from doing what you love if you do not believe in your value and in your worth. So all money is an exchange of value. But that means you have to believe in your value. So for the first couple of years of my business, guys, I struggled here because I was like, how would they pay me for my time? It's just my time, little old me, little old Tammy. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. Who's gonna listen to me? And I didn't really believe in the value that I was providing. So I had to do a lot of work on my limiting beliefs and on my fear-based stories to really bust through those blocks, to charge my worth. And again, I go through this much more detail in my program. But guys, you can't charge your worth. You are valuable. You are valuable as you are right now. You need to start believing in it. So guys, I don't know if you know me by now, but I love animals and I love dogs. But this is often how some of my clients feel after having a coaching session or after a webinar or after coming to one of my events. They're like, oh my God, I'm excited, I'm motivated, I'm going to write these actions, everything's going to be different, I'm going to start charging my worth, I'm going to tell my story. And it's amazing and it's awesome. But then what happens is this lasts a day or two or three or five, or maybe even a couple of weeks. And then this is what happens. Slowly but surely, the ego starts to creep in, and it might even be creeping in now in this webinar saying, how am I going to do that? Doubt and fear start to show up. And guys, all fear is a sign that you are relying on your own strength. Okay, I don't know what you believe in or what your faith is. I believe in a higher power. I believe in something greater than myself. So when you are in fear, you're relying on your own strength. So when I get scared, I step into that fear. I show up to that fear and I say, hello, fear. I'm here. I see you and I'm afraid, and I acknowledge it and I feel it and I pass it over to my higher power. So you can give it over to angels, to the universe, to God, to your heart, whatever you believe in. But guys, all fear and doubt is just, as you know, false expectations appearing real. It's just your ego wanting to keep you stuck and to keep you small. And it's just, your ego is just there to protect you. But it actually doesn't. Your heart has something so much bigger planned for you. So guys, when I used to have fear and doubt in the past, I just used to squash it. So being the driven and determined person that I am, I'd see the fear and I'd be like, oh, squash it. Just stamp on it and put it down deep so I don't see it again, and I'm just going to charge ahead and be positive. But the problem with that, guys, is it started to come up in other ways. It started to show up in different results in my life. And it was only through a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual development, that I realized I wasn't feeling my fear and I wasn't facing my fear. So I actually had to sit with my fear and show up to it. And that meant tears, that meant acknowledgement, that meant taking responsibility for my choices, that meant just going to that place that's scary. And I encourage all of you to do that, to make a list of all your fears and to one by one sit with them. And you actually only have to sit with them for a couple of minutes for them to be seen, for them to be felt. Okay. And we all have different fears. And this is what blocks our dream. So we've got this sunshine within us, guys. We've got this light, this energy, this gift, this purpose, this enormous potential and capacity to change ourselves and change the world. But yet this ring of fear and doubt surrounds us. And how you bust through it, like I said, is getting someone to help you. I can help you. Busting through it through sitting in meditation with it, by writing it down, journaling about it, by getting some, you need to show up to it is the point. And only when you do that, your light can shine out. And guys, it doesn't mean that fear won't show up for you, because life is a dance between fear and love. So fear will keep showing up. Fear shows up in my life every single day. And as soon as it does, I say, I see you and I feel you, and I sit in my meditation and I pray and I say, God, help me release this fear. Take this fear from me and help me learn the lesson that this fear is trying to teach me. Because often it is there to teach us something as well. So let fear be your teacher. It's just a question here. Let's just see. So making your dreams a reality is really hard once you start actioning. I really felt like that this evening. I was feeling very overwhelmed. Absolutely. So guys, overwhelm is a huge one when it comes to living your dream, when it comes to making your dreams a reality. Oh my gosh, if I could tell you how terrified I have been doing what I love is so many times. But it's one step at a time. And it's one fear at a time, and it's one action at a time. Okay. And get someone to help you through this process. If you don't want me to help you, get someone to help you. So these are the most common fears, guys, and we're just wrapping up now, that you're not good enough. This is a fear that I had and still have from time to time, that I don't believe that I'm enough to help people. But I am, and all of you are too. You don't know enough. You're exactly where you need to be to share what you need to share and to learn what you need to learn. You already have enough to get started. You can always build on it. You already have enough to get started. Okay. How do you transition from one career to another? Step by step. I transitioned over a year, guys. I'd coached evenings and weekends. I did it for free. I then was able to transition my role from brand manager to training and development manager because I showed up in that capacity. I said, guys, I'm working evenings, I'm working weekends, I'm coaching in my lunch breaks. And they eventually acknowledged that. But there is a plan for you, and I can help you come up with that plan if you need to transition. And you might be thinking, who am I to do this? And this is one of Marianne Williamson's quote. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel secure around you. And I think she said, who are you to be lovely, beautiful, and fabulous? And who are you not to be? Okay, you're here to be that expression of joy, that expression of who you are. You're here to be happy. You're here to do what you love. You're here to live that life. You're here to be great at what you do. All of these people are in action of their talents, are great at what they do, and then you are absolutely no different. No different. You're here to make a difference, to live a purposeful life, to be an expression of those gifts and of who you are, to help others. That's why we're here. Remember, I said true and lasting fulfillment does not come from what we get, but from what we give. And this, guys, is, money doesn't buy happiness, but it does if you spend it on other people. And it does if you help others. You're here to do what you love for a living, whether that's in a career, whether that's in someone else, in a job working for someone else, or in your own business. You can do what you love for a living. And I'm here to help you guys. You're here, lastly, guys, to live a purposeful life, to live a life that you love, and one that you have to, like I did in my meditation before this, like I said, I was in tears at the gratitude and the love that I feel for what I do and for my clients and for the work that I get to do, because I just feel so purposeful. And there's no better way. And that's why I'm teaching this, guys. So I always have this saying that says, don't go from the cradle to the cubicle to the casket, spending your life not knowing what it is that you love and not doing what you love, not discovering what your natural talents are and not being an expression of them. Life is too short. Guys, don't be part of the 80% of people who are stuck in jobs that they hate and stuck in jobs that are unfulfilling to them. You can be part of this 20%. Hang around with people doing what you already want to do. Hang around with people who are inspiring and motivating and people that you can learn from. This slide is about don't hang around with rotten apples. Hang around with people who will uplift you and believe in your dream. And start managing your mindset. Again, this is a whole module in my program, a whole mindset module, but you have the thought factory in your mind. You're the one who produces the thoughts. So what thoughts are you producing? When you hear the I can't, how are you going to respond? And who are you going to call forward? Mr. Victory or Mr. Defeat? The angel in your head or the devil? So guys, the secret to happiness it's called earned success, and it's about value. So it's about what you're trading your life for. So you can have earn minimum wage, or you can be a millionaire, but your level of happiness is exactly the same if you feel like you're trading your time for something meaningful, for something valuable, if you feel like you're expressing your true self. Same with education. You can be lowest educated, like not having completed school, or Harvard PhD educated. Level of happiness is exactly the same if you're trading your life for something valuable. You have that choice, and that is the secret to happiness. Hard work is only a prison sentence if it doesn't have meaning. I mean, I'm working hard. I worked all day and I'm working till 9 o'clock, but does it look like it feels like work for me? Absolutely not, because this is what makes me feel alive. And I still I can't believe I get to do it. So guys, what do you want? Do you want that life of freedom, of happiness, of fulfillment, of joy, of passion? What is it that you want? This webinar tonight has given you some ideas and some themes and some inspiration, hopefully, to take steps along that journey. And I would love to help you further. But before I do that, there's the secret ingredient that you have to have, that you have to know. And I don't know if many of you have watched Kung Fu Panda, but when he opens the dragon scroll, which is supposed to have that secret message, it's supposed to have like that, the wisdom of the universe on it. And he opens it and he looks at the dragon scroll and he sees a reflection of himself. So guys, there is no secret ingredient. The secret ingredient is you, and a belief in you, and a belief in that innate beauty and in that innate passion and that heart that you have. It is believing that that is valuable and that is worth something. And it is. So start believing in it. So guys, today and tonight, we looked at your why you want to do what you love, what makes you happy, what your gifts and talents are, your superpowers, and what a superstar you are. We looked at some of your inspiring stories, your values and what's important to you, looking at the passion code, your passion themes, how to bring it all together, and your powerful purpose, which is an expression of all of that. So guys, from here on in, obviously you can take this information and you can go out and do the work and download the worksheet, and which is, you can get it on my website under free tools. And that's amazing if you go and do that. And I encourage you, like I said, to take that inspired action and implement what you've learned. But if you'd like further help, if you'd like additional tools, if you'd like me to support you along your journey to doing what you love, then I would love to help you. And how I would love to help you is on my new 8-week digital course, which is starting on Monday, starting on the 23rd of July. And it's called, like I said at the beginning, Live a Life You Love, because I truly believe that you're here to do that. So I'd love to spend just a couple of minutes now sharing a little bit more about Live a Life You Love. And I know a couple of you are already on this webinar, on that program, so I'm so excited for you guys. And I can't wait to share this information because, guys, on this 8-week program is literally everything that I wish I had had when I was starting out a couple of years ago, when I was trying to discover my passion and trying to turn it into a business and just didn't know where to start or what to begin. And I just wish I'd had a toolbox and a toolkit and guidance taking me step by step through this process. Because from the beginning of this program and by the end of it, you will have clarity on your passions and you will have a brand and you will know the steps you need to take to share it with the world. And like I said, I'm so excited about it. So what you get on this program is it's an 8-module program. So over the 8 weeks, I'm going to be covering 8 modules. And in those 8 modules is videos and workbooks and tools and resources. So it's inspiration packed, right? You are going to get this program for life. It is an online program, so you can access anytime, anywhere. And as long as you've got an internet connection and you get your password and your username for the website and you log in and you're A for away. You get support from me. So you get a one-on-one coaching session with me and you get email support and social media support. So I'm here with you every step of the way along that program to help hold you accountable and move you forward to this life that you deserve to be in. And it's going to be, my goal is to create a community and a tribe of people who want to do what they love and want to share what they're passionate about. And there's bonuses. So there's quite a few bonuses that I'm going to share with you now. So like I said, there's one-on-one coaching, there's bonus modules, and specifically for you guys tonight and the people that were on the challenge, they get additional bonuses. And that's for you guys showing up tonight, you get these bonuses, which is a powerful productivity module. Because guys, when you're doing what you love or when you're trying to run 2 jobs or juggle a couple of things, you need to know how to manage your time and use it as best you can. So productivity module, you're going to learn actually how to share the story with the world, how to speak so that people listen to you. Whether, like I said, that's one person, a couple of people, or you want to actually speak to thousands like I do. And there's going to be Facebook online marketing module. So that's going to teach you how to share that story, that voice, the brand that you are going to create online and how to do that effectively so that you're able to help more people. So and you get a free ticket to Passion to Profit, which is in Cape Town on the 28th of July. And that's 500 Rand for that ticket. So you get that free if you join the program. So before I go on to the next slide, I just wanted to show you the website. So this is it here. So if you simply go onto my website and you click on online program, this is what you'll come up with. So you can see it all in a lot more detail. So you can read a little bit about me and how I came to do what I love, my story, some happy clients, and you can learn about what's included in the program and hear all the modules. So we're going to be covering passion clarity. So like what I've gone through in this webinar tonight, we're going to go much deeper. So the first week of the program is dedicated to going deep into getting clarity on those passions. So getting those questions that I talked about, getting those resources, getting those book recommendations, and getting help and clarity from me throughout that process. The second week is going to be about purpose clarity. So really then looking at how you can provide value with that and sharing that with the world. Then business and marketing clarity, guys. So then we're going to look at how do we actually turn our passions and our purpose into that business, and how do we then market it so that we can actually start to generate income from this business. And then fear. Yes, we have to have this module because it is the one thing that holds us all back. So we have to face our fears, and we got to do some forgiveness. We got to do some shifting. It's quite a deep process, and I'm walk you through that every step of the way. Plus, money stories is in this module. There's a big thing about money. A lot of people have icky money stories. I certainly have had money stories, and I'm still working on a couple of mine. But I realized when I started to shift these stories and these limiting beliefs, everything started to change for me. My business started to grow because of the energy and the belief that I had around money. Mindset, like I said, we're going to be going over how to have an entrepreneurial and passionate mindset. So we're going to be looking at how to create more positivity in our mindset, how to hang around with the right people that will serve us and lift us up, as well as being more productive. We're going to look at goals, creating an action plan, creating long-term goals, creating short-term goals, and how to actually take daily action to move through those. And bonus modules. So guys, this is one of my favorite modules, how to be your own life coach, because I'm literally sharing how I coach people and my coaching model. So everything that I learned at the International Coaching Federation, I'm sharing a piece of that with you, of actually how to coach people. And not only if you don't want to be a coach, of course, it doesn't matter, because it teaches you how to coach yourself. So more importantly, when you get stuck in your business, which I get stuck every day, it teaches you how to reflect within and go through your own coaching process. And then one of the other bonuses is how to run a heart-centered, spiritually aligned business. Because guys, if you're not grounded, if you're not heart-centered, if you're not coming from a space of love, of value, then you can earn a lot of money, you can do what you love, but there'll be something missing. Okay, so for me, business is really about balance. It's really about ticking all the boxes of freedom, of flexibility, of financial success, of service. And that's what having a spiritually centered business is about. It's really having that holistic balance, not being overworked and not being over-serving and not being neglecting of yourself and not being poor. It's about a beautiful balance. So guys, the good thing is about this program is it comes with a guarantee. So if you, after the 8-week program, if you have not discovered your passions, if you don't have clarity, then you get your money back. Because I'm 100% sure, and I've never had a problem in the past, that people will get the value. As long as you do the work, you have to do the work. And by the work, I mean you just have to write your worksheets. And I can see you participating in the program, and it's 100% free if you don't find it valuable. And there's all these questions at the end if you want to go through those. But just coming back to the slides here. So guys, like I said, you get everything that you just saw on that website, plus these 3 bonus modules for being on this webinar tonight, and the ticket. And this program is going to be $400 US or 5,500 Rand. But because I'm pre-launching it, it's half the price. So it's $200 or 2,700 Rand. And this is only available for 24 hours, guys, because the program launch date closes on the 20th. So it's only available for 24 hours. So if you're interested, you can simply click on the link in the website, and I can put that link in the chat box for you guys. It's a small group on this online program because I'm spending my time coaching you guys. So it's going to be a small community. It's going to be really intimate. It's going to be really impactful. So that's why it's this price. And like I said, it's for a limited time. And you can pay online or you can pay by transfer, whatever you want. And it launches on Monday. So it's so exciting. So I hope that you guys will join me on this online program, because I really, really believe in the value that it is going to provide, and that it has provided already. And I'm so excited for the people already on the program. And I would really love to invite you to join me if you'd like to take the next step towards living that happiest life. So on that note, I would like to open the floor to some questions, to any questions that anyone has about the online program, about what we've covered this evening, about coaching, anything like that, because I'm here to serve you, and I'm here to help you as best I can. So I would also love to know, to type in the chat box, guys, what's one thing you learned tonight? What's one takeaway that you got tonight from spending this hour with me on this webinar? I'd love to know. So please share anything you learned or any questions that you have. And while you're doing that, I'll just put that link in the chat box because I just got that question. Oh, and while you're thinking of questions or one thing that you learned, I also want you to write down one action that you are going to take as a result of this webinar, or as a result of what you've learned tonight, guys. Because we don't move forward if we don't act. Okay, so it's about inspired action and it's about implementation. So what one action are you going to take as a result of listening in? So while you think of those actions, those learnings, the questions, I'm just going to get that link for you guys. So questions, actions, learnings, my dears. Chat. Let me put this in the chat box. Carla, questions? Brad, questions? Christine, questions? Linda? Linda, you're very enlightened already, so I'm sure you know this stuff already. You've been following my webinars and my events for a long time now, hey? Nicola, questions? Lynette? Oh, Lynette, you did say something. Any questions, my dears? Quiet bunch tonight. Quiet bunch. Okay, I've just got a question that's come through on my messenger, which is when will we have the one-to-one coaching? So you can have that one-to-one coaching in the first week of the program or any other consecutive week in the program. My only requirement is that you take it over the 8 weeks so that I can help you while you have your mindset in the program. So Lynette, I know obviously you've signed up for the program. Awesome. High five. I'm so excited to have you on the program. Carla, of course. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited to have you on the program. And Christine, yes, Christine, you're going to be on the program. My biggest supporter. Any questions, guys? Or learnings? Did anyone learn something tonight? Did anyone learn anything? Can I see some raised hands? Or some, okay, good. There's a few hands there. Phew, I thought I didn't deliver any value there because you're all so quiet. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate your time and I appreciate you being here tonight, literally from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. I love my clients. I love doing this. So I really, really send you lots of love. And if I can help with anything, whether just pop me a mail, you've got my email address, and I'd love to have you on my program, or just keep rocking your passions, keep doing this work. And I would like to end on my favorite quote here. Oh, oh my gosh, the questions weren't showing up. Oh, sorry, let me go through these questions. Okay. Thank you, Brad. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Awesome. Carla, thank you. I'm so glad you're on the online program. And I'm so, yes, you got reminded about your fear. Yes, stop shrinking, shine your light. Amazing. Nicola, it isn't a question, just something you made me think. I liked what you said about how could you increase the use of your gifts or talents now? So often we think about it as a future change rather than asking ourselves, how can we do it right now? So that was very thought-provoking. Brilliant. Amazing, Nicola. High five. Lynette, hello. Certainly have, Brad. Thank you so much. Yes, Christine, great. Do the exercises. And Carla, if we don't take the action, we're going to stay where we are. Biggest lessons tonight. Amazing. Okay. So there was some comments. I just was not looking in the box. Okay, so I want to end on this quote, guys. So from the age of 7 till 17, my parents used to take me to school and they used to have me shout at the top of my lungs, I'm happy, healthy, and successful. So I started every single day with this positive affirmation. And I literally fell out the car laughing with joy every day. And my husband and I, we still start our day like this. We walk our dog every morning and we say this. So I'd love you guys to join me in saying it now. So on 3, we can shout that together. So 1, 2, 3. I'm happy, healthy, and successful. Well done, guys. I think if you have any partners in the room, they're probably looking at you like, what are you doing? But that's okay because you're creating your happiest life, right? So there you have it, my lovelies, my sunshines. Thank you so much for joining me tonight from the bottom of my heart. I'm just on the other side of the email or of Facebook. If you want to hang out and see what I'm doing more, just like my Facebook page, Tammy Godsoul. And otherwise, look forward to seeing you out there in the world, making the difference that you're born to make. So thank you so much. Lots of love, guys. And by the way, I'm going to be sending a recording of this webinar tomorrow afternoon. So you'll get a recording and just a follow-up email from me if any of you have any questions about the online program. Alrighty. Anything else before I shoot? Last chances. I've got to check the question box in case. Chat. Look forward to next week. Thank you. Thanks, Lynette. Awesome. All right, rock stars. Well, you guys have a good Monday, and I look forward to chatting soon. Lots of love. Bye, guys. Oh, one more. Good night. Bye.